Coming to you from the LoadingReadyRun orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast.
Shoopa-doopa-doo-boop-boop-a-doo. 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 Shoopa-doopa-doo-boop-boop-boop.
I don't have a pop screen still.
That was good.
I like the shoopas.
I want to keep it mixed up.
Shoop, doobie-doo.
So our preview works this
I was
week,
thinking of
but
the
it's
actual
it's
classic
delayed and it's freaking me out.
Shoop
Yeah,
by TLC.
now I
it's
can-
because I made it
Yes.
smaller.
I can look at myself in the
Or
eyes.
Salt and Pepper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did Shoop?
I don't know.
Creepy.
We should look it up. James, who did Shoop?
Was it?
Pretty sure that was Salt and Pepper.
I thought it was Salt and Pepper. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I was thinking of the classic Salt and Pepper song.
I hope it was.
Welcome to the LRRcast, second LRRcast of the year. First full-on LRRcast. Last time was a sort of a shorter, more sort of updated on what we doing on the year of LRR. But now we are here with an extensive Ask LRR thread to answer your questions. And I don't think that we have anything specific to talk about. I guess just like,
Some video stuff.
if you're listening to this, you probably already know. But, so the crap shots are going.
Yep.
They started they're going up every Tuesday and Thursday, and they started the first opportunity we had in the month.
Mm-hmm.
And currently they're all on our YouTube channel, but they will soon have their own category on the LoadingReadyRun homepage. Because I did have someone ask me that
That's in the forum.
that they hadn't
It's
seen
in,
them.
it's in the thread. I
Oh,
think.
that's in the thread. Okay. Checkpoint is still going. It's being updated on our YouTube page and our website every Tuesday after being recorded live on Monday, with the rest of the sort of the live kind of after show, I guess, being posted to our second YouTube channel, which I also want to make sure everyone knows about, which is youtube.com/LoadingReadyLive, which is where all the archives of the Loading Ready live streams live, so that people can watch them on mobile and don't have to deal with the Twitch archive page. That's after much fan request for it. And the Loading Ready live streams are all going, and there's plenty of questions about that, so I think we'll probably just...
And I've gotten a couple questions.
it.
If you have any Kickstarter questions, you can send them to LRRkick, LRRkick, at loadingreadyrun.com. I'm the person who answered that email address, but I'd really appreciate it if you sent all the questions there, because then it lets us keep all the Kickstarter stuff in one place. I've had a couple people ask me about when we're getting to certain tiers and rewards. We are working on it, but because the beginning of the year required so much amping up of content, like getting the crap shots online and changing the video update schedule and all of the streaming and stuff like that, we wanted to make sure we had that down before we were going to start cranking out the other awards. But we have some exciting news coming soon about the Let's Nope, and expect them to sort of come out in chunks throughout the year. Basically.
Yeah, we don't want to. I mean, we're not going to do it all at once.
Yeah.
We'll space it out.
But yeah, we just wanted to use January to get our up to speed and running on the new schedule, lest we crashed and burned. So sit tight.
I guess actually we could talk. There aren't loading times of the crap shots, right?
We've been shooting some loading time stuff, and I was talking to Alex about it the other day, and I think that we're figuring that maybe like every so often there'll be like a crap shot loading time gang up kind of thing, perhaps. Like we've shot behind the scenes of some of them, but not others because of the nature of how they get shot.
Right.
So,
But I was just thinking, I mean, by now you can see some of the sort of form that the crap shots are taking. A good example is the very first crap shot, the Monopoly
the Happy Bus.
Happy Bus one.
Yeah.
And then one of the more recent ones where I'm the guy who just punches Beej.
I love that.
Those are both, you can see from those, the Monopoly one was filmed in the van that we rented for the video just last week.
For the Bitcoin conspiracy.
The hackers video, yeah.
Because we shot that some time ago.
Yeah, and so we were like, we have this van, let's shoot this other thing as well, because we have a creepy white panel van. And then for the ways to build a Kickstarter money, we had the limo that Matt comes out of with his awesome fur coat and stuff, and so we we were like, we've got this limo. We only needed a really quick shot with Matt. What else can we do with the limo?
Well, actually, I mean, the van was like, well, we have this van. Let's do a crap shot. The limo was actually like, can we validate renting a limo just for this shot in the Kickstarter? Wait, what if we also shoot some crap shots?
Yeah.
And so we had planned, the limo will show up, we'll do the bit with Matt, and then we'll do crap shots. And so we brainstormed a whole bunch of them, and we pinpointed 2 that we wanted to shoot. And then I think we ended up actually shooting a third that we hadn't planned on. Actually, the punching one was the one we hadn't planned on shooting.
Yeah.
So there's a third.
But
Bonus.
we're spreading them out though. So we you're not going to see like all the limo ones all in a row.
Oops, you only seen one. So
They've
far.
only seen one.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But so anyway, that's I mean we're also obviously shooting crap shots, writing them and shooting them when we have ideas and stuff. But then crap shots are a great way to sort of take advantage of any extra props or weird costumes or weird things that we need to get anyway for a Loading Ready Run video.
Or an idea that just won't make a whole sketch.
But yeah, just being able to get that sort of little bit of extra value. So there you go.
Yeah. So should we go on to all the questions?
Yeah,
Yep.
without further ado, Askler.
So some questions from Foxmar. What has been the most difficult part of the Loading Ready live streams?
I mean, in the first little while, it was just the technical stuff.
The technical stuff has probably been the hardest.
Yeah,
it hasn't even been that hard. It's just been
Sometimes there's stuff that doesn't work and you don't know why, and it's really galling.
Well,
Yeah,
the
there's been
issue
some.
is we have a really nice live stream setup, but we also have it set up to like run like 8 different like systems, like PC, Mac, consoles, and like not just like all new consoles. Like there's old consoles, like Beige is on the GameCube, I have on the PS2, and this requires changing a lot of little different settings, and it amps up the complicatedness.
A lot of the console resolution to the PC resolution, that's no big deal.
right.
But then when you tell the capture card to switch from that to component, which the PS3 is, sometimes it works perfectly. And sometimes you have to restart it so that it recognizes it. And even then, when you restart it, the sound will be horrible, or the sound will emit a high-pitched whine until you restart it yet again.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I had to restart it because it wasn't seeing the main camera. And then so I restarted it, and then it started whining, and I thought the PS2 was broken, and I was like, F. And I was like, the PS2 is making a high-pitched whine. I don't know why. I may have to go home and get a different PS2. I'm really sorry, guys. This could really delay my stream. And then Graham was like, no, just restart it
I was like, no, that happens. Like,
I was like, it's a known issue.
I hate that you restart it, and it half works, and then you restart it again, and then it totally works. And it's like, I didn't change anything. As a from a troubleshooting perspective, that's really irritating.
It's super irritating. But we're getting more used to the system, and
we're also we're also changing and ordering some stuff that will change that, hopefully.
Yeah,
so
run more things through HDMI.
That'll smooth it over
through
a little
HDMI
bit.
is the idea.
Yeah. So
No more component.
But from a non-technical standpoint, I find it extremely difficult to play the game, be myself and sort of relax, but also, engaging and not just like staring off into space like you normally do when you play a video game by yourself and read the chat at the same time. It is like 3 distinct things that you've got to concentrate on. So I'm glad I picked a JRPG.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that everybody will get better with time, because it's not something that any of us are really necessarily used to.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is playing games that allow them to stop every so often.
It also, from what I've seen in feedback from you guys, is the overwhelming consensus is that you prefer when there are 2 people present during a stream.
The sort of co-pilot.
Yeah, they prefer to have, and that's not to say that every show is going to get a co-pilot, because some don't. Like, for instance, mine, most people are sleeping. I know Graham likes to run solo, but everybody has sort of said it's really nice to have 2 people, so one person can focus on the chat and the other person can focus on the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I said as much in the feedback in the Loading Ready Live forum, is that it does change the feeling of it, and
yes.
I kind of prefer, like, what I'm having a lot of fun with on House of Stark when I'm playing Resident Evil 6 is that it's me and you guys, and we're hanging out, and we're doing this game, and there's lulls where I'm not necessarily talking. We're all just sort of watching the game do its terrible thing. you know,
And that's fine.
And I like having that without there always being someone looking over my shoulder at the chat, being like, "Oh, this person says this. Oh, this person says this. Oh, this person says this," which is good. Like, we do want to have chat interaction. That's really, really important to us, as we've said a bajillion times. But other times also, I just like it if it can be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
And I think it just works for some people and it doesn't work for others, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have said that they love when Cam sits in with Alex because they work really well together as sort of two sides of a coin on that. But
I mean, I think our hope with the live streaming is that we've got enough different kinds, not only different kinds of games, but different kinds of hosts and different kinds of shows, that hopefully there's a couple of them that are up your alley. And if you don't, if not all of them work for you, then that's totally fine, because you probably couldn't watch them all anyway.
yeah.
Some people are trying.
Yeah.
In our first week, including the launch day. So Sunday.
So let's say
Sunday to Sunday inclusive.
so let's minus 8 hours from this number.
So ignoring the launch day, so the Monday that we started through to the following Sunday, including 7 days.
Yeah.
Minus the 8 hours, we did 37 hours worth.
Yeah.
Dear God, that's a full-time job just to watch us.
Yeah.
Because we had
Do not make that your full-time job.
we had a lot of bonus streams. 'Cause
Yeah.
people like to
Nobody
stream.
will pay you for that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, though,
People
I love
barely
doing
pay us
bonus
for that
streams
job.
because it means I can grind out a few more levels, and Nocturne's super long.
So there was, I mean, he has two other parts to his question. The first was what's the most difficult part of the live streams. The second is what has been your favorite part so far, and then what has been the most unexpected part.
My favorite part is actually having an excuse to play video games, which I love doing, but I
Yeah.
have a hard time justifying.
That's probably my favorite part as well. Most unexpected.
I don't think anything. I mean, we've done Desert Bus in terms of streaming. Me and Graham have been streaming for 2 years now. Magic. I watch a lot of streamers. There wasn't many unknowns for me.
I think I'm. Well, I mean, taking into account that we've been doing the Magic stuff for a while, I guess I wasn't expecting. So I wouldn't say it's hugely unexpected, but I don't think I was expecting just how involved all the viewers are with like the spreadsheet.
That's our crazy fan base.
I know, but I just think that's so
You
great.
guys are nuts.
Like the spreadsheet for Cam's show, the LRRbot tracking all the different things. Like we have people make Defrost made us a chat bot. Mr. Flip made us the subscriber notification thing.
Yep.
the drinking game rules.
Yes, I was getting to that. Yeah, the drinking game spreadsheet is hilarious. Not officially endorsed by Loading Ready Run. Please drink responsibly. But that thing's hilarious. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to do quite that much that quickly, but I love it.
I guess that's true.
get
I guess I was after the flush chart from Desert Bus. Nothing. I don't think anything is going to surprise
That's
me
fair.
in
That's
terms of
fair.
what our fans will do
I'm
to
just glad you can't hear the bathroom from the
track.
streaming office.
Yeah, that would be so bad. Oh god.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's neat that sort of enthusiasm from Desert Bus has sort of transitioned over a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
I get the feeling
even though this is sort of a different context.
that during the drinking game, a lot of people are maybe like drinking Coke. It's just fun to keep track of things that you're drinking, right? Like, I don't think people are getting trashed because you
Then
really
they're
could.
clearly playing it wrong.
We did have someone say that they ran out of rum the other day.
Oh
All right.
dear.
Next up.
Some questions from Zippa. Hey guys, I've been loving the Loading Ready live streams. I was wondering if there was any plan to stream after the Kickstarter stuff is all over with.
Well,
I-
we got this office set up.
I
so.
We're
would
not-
expect us so.
Yeah, we're not planning that far ahead right now. But
No, but I don't think it's going to go away.
yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on obviously
What we end up doing next year.
what we end up doing and how the streaming evolves over the course of this coming year.
Yeah.
How successful it is and
If the fan base
all that kind of
builds.
stuff. Yeah.
Ask that again at the end of the year. In
Well,
December.
you can probably ask us again in like 6 months and we'll have a better idea.
That's true.
They continue. I also just wanted to mention how cool it is to see Alex, Cam, and the other crew stream as well as Graham and Paul.
Sweet.
That was really nice. Also, I got a new iPhone after having an Android phone for a couple of years and was wondering if there's any cool apps out there you guys can recommend, as Android always seems to get way less decent apps.
All right.
Okay, James,
Let's-
you're the
let's-
iOS appsman.
Let's do this. Let's go.
James doesn't need any provocation to download an iOS app.
Dear God, so much
No.
money has been spent on them. All right, how about some games first?
Okay.
Download Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
Download Lost Cities. Very good game. Ascension is really good on the iPhone, actually.
I prefer it on the iPad.
I much prefer it on the iPad, but it's there. Download Punch Quest. It's super awesome.
Some of these might be on Android.
Have you
too,
played
I
the
guess.
Pocket Mine. Lords of Waterdeep
the-
isn't that great on this one.
The Skulls one, what is it? The turn-based like samurai skulls. I downloaded it based on your recommendation.
Turn-based samurai. I don't know what. Do you have it?
It's the app. Oh, there we go. Skulls of the Shogun.
Oh yeah. Oh, I need to get that back on my phone actually.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna come right out and say you probably had this for Android, but Angry Birds Star Wars is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, Angry Birds. Non-games, if you use Reddit, get Alien Blue. Obviously, Twitch. I would die if I didn't have my Twitch app. Fantastical, I think, is the best calendar app. I think everybody here
It's
uses it.
fantastic.
Oh, hey, Kathleen, what's your favorite game, not game app for?
Game not game app. Oh, Quiz Up, which is not on Android. It is fantastic. If you like
It's
trivia,
a really
Quiz Up is
slick app.
really, really good. I have no idea how it monetizes, and the trivia is really good, but it's not on Android, and it's fantastic.
Podcasts, I use Pocket Casts. It's very, very, very good. Weather, I use just Weather Today.
Fantastical for the calendar.
Yeah, I just said
Oh, sorry.
Fantastical.
You said that already.
Jeez.
Clear for lists.
Oh, Clear. Oh, I could not. I could not live my life without Clear.
I just use. Does Clear integrate into Fantastical?
No,
don't
Clear
think
is a
so.
standalone
okay.
app.
Yeah,
'Cause
it
I
doesn't
use-
integrate with anything.
Because I use reminders through iOS, which integrate into Fantastical.
Oh,
So my reminders actually see
no,
reminders.
Clear is a slightly different thing though. Like Clear is like a.
It's true, but
like you make a bunch of different lists and you make a checklist for all the things you have to do on that thing, and then you just.
And
well,
yeah, it doesn't
that's
do
what reminder is.
Well, but Clear doesn't do like reminders. Like you can't. It doesn't tell you.
No, yeah, it's
times that things.
yeah,
happen
it's
or
not that
anything
kind
like
of thing. It's just like
Yeah, like reminders is
It'll-
you make a reminder
it's-
or you can make a new one, a new list, and
And the only thing I don't like about Clear is that it doesn't sync between iPhone and iPad.
does it not? That's weird.
the worst.
It doesn't sync. Like it just has no.
All right.
It's just all.
This is
local.
gonna take
There's
too
no sync.
long.
And Tweetbot if you are a Twitter user.
Yes.
Oh, and Reader REEDER.
If you are an RSS
if
fiend.
you're an RSS person. which
All right.
I am.
Prospero 101 has two questions. One, who does the voice for the Commodore 64, and how did you get it to sound so cool? That is a double-barreled question. First, Jared did the voice for the Commodore 64.
It's really the answer is also the.
Also, Jer.
Yeah, it's
That's
it's-
actually
that's
how
you
Jer
get it to
sounds.
sound
He
so
sounds
cool.
like that. Don't
Yeah.
tell him how you did it.
Because he
From-
did the he did the voice originally in the Loading Ready rap, and then so when we were discussing this ahead of time, we were like, okay, so obviously the Commodore has to have a verse, like a bridge verse, and so you should do that again. And in contrast to the rest of our lyrics in that thing, that the Commodore should be very just like da 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 da, just like very like square rhyming, because you know it's a old computer. This is how it rhymes,
He can do a pretty good job with that.
and it
Just-
sounds so cool because Bradley is amazing.
Yeah.
Because originally when we sent it to Bradley, we just had like a filter on it, which he was able to remove because we just sent him the GarageBand file. But then he made it like harmonize with itself.
Yeah.
and, yeah, it was really awesome.
All right.
That's
and-
why we pay Bradley the big bucks.
Do we? I don't think we pay him enough.
No, we probably don't actually.
Prospero then says, Graham and Paul, you do realize you don't have to play terrible games to entertain us, right? It works better for our thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe alternate
Maybe.
after the dark.
We
After
did
the
try-
dark or whatever.
In our
try
defense,
good
we
games?
also didn't realize Dark would be so shitty.
Really?
I don't think. Yeah,
I didn't think
I
Dark
was
would be
pretty
that
sure
bad.
it'd be bad.
All right.
All right.
But
But-
the Eurogamer preview said it was Vampires Done Right.
I mean, in some cases, I mean, there are games that I play like at home, that I don't know if I like just that I just am sort of relaxing, playing. So I don't, which are good games, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to play them on stream just because it's something I do to relax. Whereas, the streaming is you're still sort of
Trying to be
performing to some extent. Yeah.
Flying in Bedmon asks, and I don't think this question is specifically related to anything recent, but just what is the worst computer technical issue you've ever encountered?
I mean,
your hard drive exploded. Strip search.
That's the one I was thinking of when I was.
It wasn't your hard drive. It was the
Well,
RAM?
it was. I had RAM that was so bad it made my hard drive fail, and I lost about a week's worth of work.
Time.
Yeah. I lost some work as well, but I also lost a week's worth of time pretty early
the
into
issue.
strip search pre-production, or I guess post-production.
It was post-production. It was like February or something like that.
So like before the show had started, and it was like it's gonna premiere on this time, and then got delayed, and it meant that I was like always slightly behind on.
We never fully recovered from that setback in our schedule.
What about you, James? You seem to have.
God, I don't even know. Like, nothing has been ever... Like, it's the situation... Like, I've never had a computer problem like you where work has been lost or time has been lost. Mm-hmm. So, because it's the situation there. Like, the computer problem itself was reasonably easy fix, right? You took your computer in...
We took it into Byte, and they were like, well, I don't know what's wrong. We're going to back up all this stuff, and then...
And then
it's the RAM. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Well,
so
here's your computer back.
So in terms of problems, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that has, like, I think the second computer I ever built, I had a faulty motherboard out of the box that gave me problems for the first, 3 months that I was trying to run this thing, and I ended up replacing every single part except for the motherboard until the very end. And that was kind of sucky, but it wasn't it wasn't like the worst. It was just annoying. Like, honestly, like, I remember when we have computer problems, when a computer loses power at Desert Bus, that is more stressful than what I went through with that computer 6 years ago when I was trying to build it, right?
And that's not even really,
and
that's not really a big computer problem. It's just the timing.
It's the time. Yeah, it's the situation, the timing, and
I was thinking your first foray into the Mac.
Oh God, yeah.
Your first Mac laptop.
My first Mac, yeah. So I got a Mac. I got the unibody white MacBook in 2007 or 2008, and it was the first Apple product I ever bought.
Right.
And I had so many problems with that fucking MacBook. I think I had
just like a lemony model, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jer had the same one. And he had endless problems.
Yeah, Jer had
Jer's logic board failed 5 times.
5 times, yeah.
Yours was something like that too.
I lost my logic board twice: the RAM, the hard drive, and the power supply, the power unit within that actually hooks up. All 5 of those things failed.
Wow.
And of course, people online were like, well, that's what you get for buying Apple. And you're like, no, I know that this doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, and it was... Yeah, that was terrible, and I stuck with I feel like most people probably would have been turned off by that point, but they announced the iPhone shortly after, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that because that thing is insane. Yeah. But yeah, that MacBook was
your current Mac is
just terrible. Yeah, I never once had a problem. I moved on to a 15-inch MacBook Pro, never had a problem. Now I have a 13-inch MacBook Air, and it's honestly the best computer I've ever owned, ever, out of every computer. So
yeah, see, the thing is, I have the same. I had the generation or the year before you guys. My 15-inch white MacBook. The only reason I retired it is because it just couldn't do stuff anymore because it was so old.
Yeah,
it still technically worked. I could use it to look at the internet, just not
YouTube
videos, which were slideshows and stuff. And the one I got afterwards, I have the same generation as yours, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Just certain years of Mac laptops are the worst. So be careful.
I was just thinking, my favorite tech support thing when I was a kid, I actually did professional tech support.
Oh yeah.
When I was younger, and one of my very first jobs that I got, I went over to these place and they had a fairly old Mac, and the problem was it was running really, really slow and it was beeping, just constantly going beep 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 beep.
That seems
beep,
bad.
Beep. And I did everything I could think of to this thing. I ran all diagnostic stuff, no problems. It took forever because it was going really slow, and I was just after a couple hours, I was just I just sort of sat back and I was like, what the hell could be there? And as I sat back, I saw on the front of the Mac, there's the front part that had the CD-ROM drive the headphone things, and above the headphone things were the volume controls, and the plus volume control was stuck in. And
Nice.
so it was beeping because it was going like volume up,
Volume up.
volume up.
Nice.
And that was also what was slowing it down because it was continually trying to access the volume stuff.
Oh my god.
That's pretty
And so I
awesome.
was just like, boink, and I looked really brilliant, except for the 2 hours I'd spent doing other stuff. But then that part, I looked good.
That's awesome.
All
right.
Janelmo asks, Kathleen,
Ooh.
what did you think about the 6th Professor Layton game that came out last fall, Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy? I'm very curious about your opinion on the ending because it is the last Layton game to star Layton himself as the protagonist.
Wait, hold on. I just need to look up this one because I don't know.
Have you played it?
I'm pretty sure I've played it. Let me just check.
All right, moving on.
Move on to the next question. I just don't recall a game by that name.
Dr. Seuss. Sussy. It's like Dr. Zeus. It's all the same letters, but it's S-U-S-S-E. Asks a meta question and then says, what beers are you enjoying currently?
None.
Well,
I'm not drinking beer.
Currently.
No, I haven't drinking. I haven't had any beer since the start of the year.
Is that intentional? Or is
Yeah,
that
I'm just on a water thing right now.
I've had, I guess most recently the Analog 78
No,
Kolsch
I
from
haven't played
Philips.
this game yet. Release date February 28th, 2014. I'm like, this
so
doesn't
it's
ring a
not out
bell.
yet.
No, it came out in 2013 in Australia and Europe and Japan, but it hasn't come out here yet.
That's what I mean.
so it's like,
Oh.
I don't know what
Well,
this...
stand by on that answer.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of smug Australians.
Yeah.
Did it before North America. Nice.
I miss beer.
In general this season though, the Stormwatcher winter lager I very much enjoyed because a lot of the winter ales this year seemed very sweet.
In my fridge, I have a pack of that. I have a 6-pack of that, and I have a 6-pack of Vertical, and I have a 6-pack of the Lions. I have a lot of winter ale waiting for me.
Are you going to take the?
I'm gonna take it to
Are
me.
you going to be drinking beer at Mount Washington?
Yes,
Okay.
that's
Graham
what
and
I
I
need to
have
make it to Mount
I've
Washington.
been enjoying Stormwatcher.
Yeah.
But a lot of us in the Loading Ready Run office are on a reduced beer diet on account of some large events that will be heavily photographed that are coming up in the spring and the summer.
Fi asks, will the crap shots be on the site eventually?
Yes.
Yes.
And they also say that they are awesome. Also high. So high.
Hi.
Hi.
Sakurazaki, what is your favorite game that was never released in North America?
Desert Bus.
I don't have much experience. I guess Desert Bus. I don't have much experience importing
Yeah, I
games.
have never
'Cause
imported a
it's-
game.
'cause
Yeah,
they-
Desert Bus is
they
the only
say-
game I've played that hasn't been released in
They
North
say,
America. Yes.
yeah, what's their
So
favorite
by
game that's never
default.
released in North America, i.e. that you had to import. But I can't.
I have never imported a game.
Never. I remember stories in high school when remember when there was like a 1.5 to 2 year like delay on Final Fantasy games because Japan hadn't realized that there was a global marketplace, and so you'd get people importing. Like I remember in high school, people had imported Final Fantasy 9,
Yep.
and were playing that and like learning Japanese so they could play the game.
Well, and
But
yeah,
I was never in that.
there's always like the one friend
Camp,
who's super
yeah.
hardcore about that kind of
I think
stuff.
Jer has imported a couple games before.
I feel like he has, but I don't know which
The
ones.
only thing I ever imported was CDs. So,
I can't think of a game that I've played that wasn't released here.
yeah, I'm gonna blow your minds here, kids. Back in the late 90s,
Bum,
Bum, bum. CDs where you could not but just buy music off your computer, so it was not like released simultaneously worldwide. And sometimes if bands weren't popular in certain regions, you couldn't get their music in North America. So you had to go down to your CD store and you had to import these CDs from these bands that nobody had ever heard of. So I used to spend like, not a lot because I didn't have a ton of money when I was, a teenager and stuff like that. But, sort of late 90s, I would... God, yeah, I spent
remember
probably
that-
like $50 on several CDs because they had
Remember
to come
that,
special order.
Remember that Brit rock band that no one in North America had ever heard of?
Oh yeah,
Muse?
yeah. The nobody had heard of them, and I spent a large amount of money importing their CD. Like, $45 to get Origin of Symmetry brought in like 2001 or something like that. And of course
And
now
then they
it's
got
$12.
and then they got really big in North America, and then they started making shit.
Their last album was not so bad.
Jeremy imported the Pokemon TCG Game Boy game and Pokemon Gold before they came out here in North America. Nerd.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
But then he wouldn't have been able to understand the story of Pokemon.
Yeah. all right.
There's a story behind Pokemon.
Sakurazaki says, if the above doesn't apply, then what would you say is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to game consoles or controllers? Personally, I find the proprietary memory cards to be completely inexcusable in 2013. Looking at you, Sony, and I completely agree. Proprietary memory cards is probably my biggest pet peeve with any of the current consoles.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I mean, there aren't any memory cards in the current consoles. Though,
Vita.
I'm thinking like the
the portable.
Yeah, like the PS Vita that you have to spend like out your ass to get a 16 gig whatever
Is it-
Sony fancy card.
Are they still just memory sticks, or is it like actual Vita? Thing?
It's a different thing now.
Oh.
They don't do memory sticks anymore.
All right.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Utilitarian. Do any of the crew play Dwarf Fortress?
No.
No, but Dwarf Fortress is amazing, and I respect anybody
Yeah.
who does.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. I've read a couple articles about it and
We did
stuff,
a checkpoint
and I find it
story.
fascinating. But I could not get into it.
Gap Filler asks 3 questions that should be fairly easy to answer. 1, is the medium the message? I mean, Marshall McLuhan would say yes.
Yes.
Part of the message.
Yeah. Is the perfect medium the wrong message? Maybe.
Sometimes.
Could be.
Depends.
Let's say 50-50.
And who's still following through on their New Year's resolutions?
Me.
Who made a New Year's resolution?
Me.
Okay. Well, good.
Oh.
There we
All
go.
right.
Ha.
Dear Dr. Lur, has Kathleen ever wished to be known as Kathleen Dick Joke DeVere?
No.
If not, why not? That's a question from Shirtle.
I think that people would get that confused in the context, and it would be bad. I don't think the appropriate context would come through if that was my actual nickname.
Demullet asks, are you guys coming to Gen Con again this year? I don't know.
Probably not.
Maybe.
Don't.
When is it?
It's like 3 weeks before PAX. Maybe. I don't know. Kieran E. says, of the core crew, who is the most versatile actor? Versatile actor.
I don't know.
Can we say Andy?
Yeah.
You said core crew though.
Core
crew.
crew, yeah.
Probably Graham.
Yeah, I think probably Graham. I don't know.
I'll take it.
I tend to play just me in different circumstances.
I
So-
always get typecast as the girl.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Your acting range in the male roles is very small, I have to say.
You look good in a beard, though. Without necessarily, this is also from Kieran, who asked the last question. Without necessarily disclosing details, did you or do you have a barrier for success on the live streams, or are you just happy to have had as much fun as possible, knowing the commitment has already costed for the year?
I
think there's an internal barrier for success.
yes. I
mean,
have
if-
personal
if-
goals.
If nobody watched, that would
then
be
that would be
bad.
kind of bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to just be streaming into a void, being like, "Well, this is fun."
I have personal goals just for the stream in general, not necessarily my show, but that I have sort of inside my head and numbers that I'd like to achieve at certain points.
Which I think,
But
I
I
think
don't.
we're doing well on.
Yeah. I mean, we're absolutely heading towards reaching those goals. Like I have 3 months and 6 months and at the end of the year kind of thing. But
Neat.
And there are certain.
I can say right now, yes, they are going well.
There are certain fixed costs with the streaming. We are, paying people to help stream it and stuff,
Yep.
and all the equipment that we bought and different things like that. So, I mean, there is a certain amount of money that has gone into it, and so obviously our goal has been to at least break even on it, and we are luckily we are in a good position on that right now.
Yep.
So.
And I would imagine it will only get better. So
My pseudonym is Ix, is asking, speaking of Gen Con, where's the video for that tabletop deathmatch thing? I can't remember being linked to it. That's because it didn't actually come out in the fall like it was originally slated to. The cards guys got really, really busy in the lead up to their 2014 holiday bullshit, and they decided to push it back to 2014, and you can look for more news on that soon. Actual question. What advice would you give to someone, i.e. me, who's just starting out playing Magic and doesn't really know where to, quote, go with it?
Well,
it depends
what you
on.
wanna do.
It also depends on what you've done so far. If you've never played the game before in your life, go get Duels of the Planeswalkers. If you've already been down that path and you've played it and you realize that you want to play real, actual paper cards, I guess first thing I would say is if you have friends who play, go find them. and hang out with them.
Yeah, finding a good play group I think is really important.
It's absolutely important.
There's lots of different places that do casual play groups
Yep.
as well. Like I know there's like in Victoria there's like casual nights at like our local store, and there's like a casual night that just got started at a restaurant, and there's like a Lady Planeswalkers group. So if you ask around and you kind of know what kind of, if you just like to play casually, meet new people, if you go into like a local store, they can tell you when like the drop-in whatever night or like for
Yep.
silly format night is like.
Absolutely.
And if you want to actually start getting competitive, well, I don't know, start reading deck lists, put together something, and start going to F&M.
Yep.
You know.
That's actually all the questions.
All right.
Wow.
There were no new posts in that thread since I opened it.
Well, fine. That's actually fine because we can get going with the next podcast. But,
And and if you are, I mean, this is really the podcast, but if you are into drafting, then you should check out the Limited Resources podcast.
True
Oh,
story.
absolutely. Actually, if you just want to play like events, like, sealed and stuff like that, and like game day releases, those are really good. They're always casual. They're always fun. Like it's a nice place to meet people. Like everybody's usually having a good time because they're not for money or like anything important. They're just like play with the new cards kind of things. Those are fantastic. And if you listen to Limited Resources before then, you will do better than you had previously done. I guarantee it.
And if you're interested in hearing stuff about Magic, but many things that won't actually help you at all in the game, then you could listen to our podcast, Tap Concede.
Yes, which comes out every week, broadly speaking, on Tuesday.
In the sense that it's supposed to come out on Tuesday, but may come out later.
Well, the first one came out on Thursday, even though we'd said it would come out on Tuesday. But last week's was on Tuesday.
Well, there
Ha!
you go. We're
All right.
50-50 right now.
Tuesday in our time zone.
Yes.
It meant to come out sooner, but for some reason YouTube was having real hell processing videos that day. Processing?
Which
Processing.
I think
Whatever.
it's either.
All right.
I don't think either.
Well,
is.
thank you very much, everybody,
That-
for
that
tuning
was
into
completely
this
wrong.
LRRcast. I hope you were able to get some information out of this, to learn a few things, to spend some quality time with us.
I hope we're all better people for this experience together.
I hope you
And-
enjoyed hearing us inside your ears.
And if you have any other questions, you can either wait. The next podcast will be in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Or if you have any questions for a specific person, you could always just jump on when they happen to be streaming and ask them.
Or hit us up on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, or hit us up on Twitter or whatever.
Yep.
So we will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Bye.
Bye, guys.